It's kind of like a prawn imitation, and I'm hoping that will attract whatever swims here. Oh, that's a bite, that's a fish! Yeah! Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of the Highland Hooker. Today, as you might be able to tell by this amazing, gorgeous backdrop, I am not in Scotland. I'm not in the Scottish Highlands, certainly. Somewhere a bit warmer. I'm in Brazil, in a city called Guarapari, which is in the Espírito Santo state. It's about an hour's flight north of Rio. You can see the beach here behind me. It's absolutely gorgeous with all the apartments here. The water is like a swimming pool. And I've got my ultralight rod in my backpack, my 5-piece travel rod. Like basically all my tackle's in that backpack there. You can't see it right now. Ultralight rod. The water is crystal clear. I'm going to throw some jigs, I'm going to throw some lead heads, I'm going to throw probably some soft plastic lures, and probably do a bit of drop shotting as well. We'll see what catch, if anything. I don't know. I have no idea. I've never fished here before in the open sea. I'll give it a go, but it's gorgeous. The temperature is very hot though, 35 degrees Celsius today. But just look at that backdrop. I mean, even if I don't catch anything, it is spectacular. It's a big bay here, and it opens out into a rocky point here behind me. I'm going to head off to the point, chuck some lures around and see what we get. Don't know if you can see what I can see, but that water is crystal clear. I've got my Polaroid glasses, and through the lens I can see how clear the water is. Look at that. Amazing. That's the beach there. I'm going to do a wee hop and a skip over here through this water, which, by the way, you will be surprised to know the water here is freezing cold, because there's a cold water current that comes from the Antarctic and reaches this part of the world. Yeah, it's cold, but it's not terrible. Oh, there goes my flip-flop. Gotta go after it. Alright, so where do I go? There's some nice looking gullies here, I'll tell you that. There's like a rocky point here, and there's a gully in here. There's a point out there. Some rocks around. There's a big gully in here as well. This looks deep. I guess we'll just start in here and try and work both ways if we can. This in here looks like a nice big hole. There's some rocks that stick out in here, a big reef, but there's a nice hole in here. And there's a nice bit of a gully out there as well. We'll give that a go. To be honest, now that I'm here, that headland looks a bit more interesting, so I think I'm going to pop over there, because it's quite shallow and rocky here. I think I'll lose a lot of tackle in this bit here. You can see all the rocks sticking out over the reef. That point looks a bit more clear. Now we're talking. Big high rock here, lots of deep water out here, gully in here. That looks better. Just quickly showing you my setup, guys. Could not be more simple. Got this lovely 10 to 30 gram 5-piece travel rod, ultralight. We got like 12-pound braid on there. Gonna start off with this 10 gram cheb head in bright orange colour, or bright red rather, and this spiky shad. There's a lot of bitey fish here, and they might bite the tails off these. If they do, I'll have to move to metals, but this is kind of like a prawn imitation, and I'm hoping that will attract whatever swims here. I have no idea. First cast, here we go. Here in front of me, it's kind of dodgy because there's big swells coming over the top here. Definitely dodgy, but there's very deep water out the front there, so that's what I'm aiming for. I just need to aim in between the waves as I'm walking out. I don't have exactly the best shoes for this. Flip-flops. Right, let's whack this out. Oh, that didn't work. Right, here we go. Wee bit wavy, wee bit choppy. We'll make it work. I'm going to stand nice and firm on these barnacle covered rocks here and give it a whirl. Let's see how we get on. Woo! We flop into the depths. I'll go down a wee bit. That's what we're using. Alright, plan B is as follows. I'm using the ISOM fake baits. These are scented sandworms on a drop shot setup. Gonna see if this works. Let's give it a go. Alright, well, might be my last chance saloon, but there's a hole in here. There's an island out there, there's an island out here, and there's a hole. I'm gonna give that a wee go with the drop shot. See if anything comes out of it. Let's give it a wee chuck in here. Must be something in here, surely. It looks fishy. It looks fishy. Famous last words. We'll try to get it right close into that island out there. Definitely a gully there. Right there. Has to be a fish in there. Oh, that's a bite, that's a fish! Yeah! Oh, it's in a hole though. It's a hole. Don't know if I'll get him out. I got the lead out. I dropped the fish though. Damn it. Action. Straight into a hole. Yeah. Sometimes you just have to admit defeat, right? Blankety blank. Not sure if I learned anything on that little escapade, except for fishing in midday sun is not any fun in Brazil. So I'm going to go and take some shade, probably going for a wee swim in the sea and cool down and rethink. Oh, it's cold. Alright, part 2. Welcome to part 2. There's a part 2 of this adventure, I think. Maybe, we'll see. But I'm now about 30 or 40 miles north of where we were in yesterday's video, in a city called Vitoria, which is the state capital of the Espírito Santo. And we're trying to get into fish, this time on a pier. See, this is a pier here. It goes out quite far out. That side is a river that comes out, and that side is the sea. Between these trees here you can see, I did see a minute ago there was a bunch of fish jumping here in this calm water. Anyway, we will give it a go. It's pretty safe here because there are lots of street lights and there's lots of people fishing. Look, see that there is a fish, just jumped. And there's the beach on that side. This pier goes out about 300 meters out into the sea. I'll give it a go. So we've got the option to fish in the river here on this side, or on the beach side, this side here. That by the way is Praia Camburi Beach, which is a huge big beach that starts all the way over there. Those are all the apartment buildings, and there's an airport there. There's lots more apartment buildings. And that's where we stay, in this neighbourhood here. Actually, see that disturbance in the water right there? Right there, that is a shoal of fish. So there are fish here, I can see them. Can I catch them? I can see fish everywhere here. Whoa. I'm excited. Very, very excited to go out and give it a go. What do I use first? What gear do I use? Do I use a spinner? Jig? I'm not sure. I guess we'll just have to give lots of different things a try. There's lots of people fishing at the end here. I can see them. I'll zoom in a little bit there. See that? Disturbance there. That is fish. Right there. That is the beach. All the fancy apartments. Let's give this a go. Look at all the people fishing here. Dozens. We need to get a space along there, there's too many people fishing. Alright, we are ready to go, ready to cast away. I'm using a 10-gram jig, light rod as always. But I've unlocked a new fear. This place, and you won't be able to see it on camera, this place is swarming with massive mosquitoes. And Gringo is on the menu. And it's dengue fever season, so sei grande. I started to get some activity with bites on every cast, but my lures were coming back shredded and I wasn't hooking them. But then even worse, I started getting bites, and 2 times in a row my line was snipped right through just behind the hook. It looked like somebody had taken a pair of scissors to my line, and even doubling the line up did not help. Thankfully the locals who were fishing next to me noticed the problem and they were able to give me some wire trace that they had. That was very kind of them. So it's time to cast out for plan C or D or E. I'm not sure where we're at now. Plan F.
Nossa, que peixe lindo! Olha, que peixe é esse? Elétrico, parece.
É peixe espada.
Peixe espada. Nossa, ele é gordo, ele.
Eu acho.
Vai matando.
Tem uns dentes, né?
Isso aí parece mais um guia. Sei lá.
Aí agora.
Agora sim, né?
Agora gostei, agora
Era a cor do peixe, velho.
Look at that. That is my first ever. Look at the teeth on it. Wow. First ever. Big, né? My first ever. Fish spada, which is a scabbard fish in some places. think I've just learned something about these peixe espada, is that every time I've had loads of bites tonight, I've only landed the one fish, but I've had so many bites. Lost 2 fish because he snipped the line, but what I've just learned, every time I've got a bite and every time I've had that, well, when I had that one fish, it's been when it's been on the drop. These fish seem to like it on the drop. So I retrieve, let it drop, boom, they hit it every single time. I get so many lures wrecked, but at least I've had a fish. Oh, that's enough fun for me for one night. That was great fun. Probably could have had 5 or 10 fish there, but I learned too late that these scabbard fish have massive teeth and they will cut you off, slice like butter. I was very kindly given some wire trace by those guys, and that saved the day for me. Made me get a fish, which I'm very happy about, here on the Iemanjá Pier. Now we're home. I think I'm mission successful, 1 fish to show you. And I've got lots more days here to come out again with the rods and see if I can get more. That was 24 hours of fishing here in Brazil, seeing what I can catch. Turns out not much, but there are definitely lots of fish here. The guys are still catching them now, but they're catching them on bait now that darkness has fallen. I'm going home. Alright, so thanks for watching. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I'll speak to you soon. Tight lines. Hooker Nation.